Welcome back to XRP The Future, where we're not guessing price, we're breaking down what the system actually requires. And today, we're tackling one of the biggest objections to XRP ever reaching high valuations, netting. The argument sounded solid. Banks don't need massive liquidity because they net transactions. They offset flows over time, settle the difference, and reduce the amount of capital required. In today's system, that's true. Netting can reduce settlement needs by as much as 96%. That's the reason trillions can move globally without trillions sitting idle in accounts. But here's the problem. That system only works because settlement is delayed, and the entire financial world is moving away from delay. The shift is toward T+0, real-time atomic settlement. That means transactions don't wait hours or days to settle. They settle instantly. And once you remove that time window, you break the mechanism that makes netting highly efficient in the first place. According to this structural follow-up analysis, netting doesn't disappear, but it gets compressed. Instead of operating over hours or an entire day, it operates in windows measured in minutes. And when you compress the time window, you dramatically reduce how much offsetting can actually happen. That's the first major shift. But the second shift is even more important. When settlement becomes instant, liquidity must exist at the exact moment of execution. The IMF and BIS have already made this clear. Atomic settlement increases the need for pre-funded liquidity because every transaction has to be fully backed at the time it happens. Because netting never eliminated the need for liquidity. It delayed when you had to prove you had it. In today's system, netting reduces massive transaction volumes down to a fraction. But when you remove that mechanism, the number of transactions that actually need to be processed and funded explodes. Some estimates suggest systems could see up to 50 times more individual settlement events when netting is removed. That doesn't mean liquidity requirements go up 50x directly, but it exposes how much hidden efficiency was coming from delayed settlement. And when that delay disappears, more of the true liquidity demand shows up in the system. Now bring XRP into this. XRP, through on-demand liquidity, is already operating in this real-time model. Every transaction is effectively a gross settlement. That means current XRP usage already reflects a system that has given up traditional netting efficiency by design. Because it means scaling XRP doesn't require adapting to a loss of netting. That loss is already baked into how it works. Now here's where the original valuation thesis gets upgraded. The first analysis allowed for netting to reduce liquidity needs by maybe 20 to 40% in optimistic scenarios. But based on real-world trial data from central banks, settlement pilots, and production systems, that assumption has now been revised. Instead of 40%, the realistic range for netting under real-time settlement may be closer to 5 to 25%. That pushes required liquidity